Is maths needed for data science? Yes, but maths will not comprise more than 30% of your tasks. You will have to deal with business analysts, other stakeholders, a lot of data science platforms like Tableau, Shiny, Flask, and so on. Buzzwords like SVM, PCA, random forest, EDA, descriptive, prescriptive, predictive, AI, ML, which essentially does not mean a lot if these words are coming from someone who is not really a hands-on person, just a presenter or some kind of a thought leader. And most importantly, you will also have to deal with programming or coding. Now, when I talk about the first thing, the business analyst kind of people, they will actually know something about data science. And with that limited understanding of data science, yes, I am generalizing, but still, with that limited amount of understanding, they will try to bring to you a lot of problems, and then they will also bring with them a lot of hypothesized solutions. And then you have to explain to them what are the mathematical assumptions for a relevant model which will solve this problem, and what are the limits of the solution which we can produce. And this will obviously be not really a mathematical task which you'll have to perform, but your math skills has to be transformed to some kind of a soft skill so that you communicate well. Then there are other stakeholders who are not business analysts, who are more close to the business. They could ask you quite radical, quite simplistic, or maybe sometimes quite atrocious questions. But you will have to give them sensible answers. You'll have to understand their point of view, try to understand where they're coming from, and then wrap your thoughts in a way which they are able to digest and assimilate. The moment you enter the field of data science, you'll understand that data science has a lot of platforms. When I say platforms, platforms like Power BI, Tableau, then you have Shiny, Flask. So essentially, these are the platforms by which you can use the model end to end, right? You take in the data and give a final dashboard kind of a thing, or a front end solution for the end user. This will involve you getting into these platforms and trying to understand the basics of these platforms. You definitely don't have to understand all the platforms completely and work on them, but you still need to know that which platform is suited for which activity. And this certainly is not a mathematical skill, more like an IT skill. And the last thing, and kind of one of the most important things, is programming or coding. If you are someone who does not like to code, then you will have a lot of challenges in data science, because at least your programming knowledge should be such that you are able to do data manipulations in at least Python and R. And when you do data manipulations, you always have the chance of doing the modeling in the next stage. But without data manipulation, you cannot use your mathematical models. So you need to learn a basic amount of programming in either R or Python, so that you're able to understand the data, do a kind of EDA on data, and do the modeling on that data. Because Excel is good, but there are challenges to the Excel. Excel is not capable to handle a large file, so you will have to understand Python and R. And yes, these are not difficult things to master, but the point here is these are not mathematical skills. And yes, you like mathematics a lot, and that is why you want to become a data scientist. But do remember that a lot of your tasks will not be related to mathematics, and maybe there would be days in which you're not using with mathematics. There could be, let's say, weeks in which you're not using any relevant mathematics. You're just trying to talk to people, trying to make them understand the solution which you have made, trying to understand their point of view, and trying to understand the platforms which the solution has been designed on, and then trying to understand that how can you enhance the solution. And in these steps, mathematics could play a very little role, if not a lot. So definitely you have to be ready to understand this and be open to these kinds of challenges. And yes, if you're someone who is good in mathematics, these challenges are not really unsurmountable. You will definitely be able to deal with them, and yes, you can become a pretty great data scientist.